Hi, Horror. Happy, beautiful, and blessed moon day. I literally just finished like sipping on my espresso. To be precise with you, it's just the instant one, honey. I don't. Anyway, and I already feel the shit like making its way down the rear end. Anyway, I'm just kind of just like yapping because I kind of just feel like yapping because like I was just like sipping on my espresso. And like I feel like that Katy Perry meme, like it's like that meme of her just like staring into like the abyss, like and she just looks like, she just, whatever. I've been feeling like that, but like not in a bad sense, like in a like beautiful cardinal singing out there, beautiful, beautiful. I've been feeling like that, and I've also been feeling like it's like that Selena Gomez meme of her like looking into the abyss once more, and like she has like a blanket like wrapped around her or whatever. Uh, Life has been feeling like a lot of memes lately, but in a good way, in a cool, whatever way, whatever the fuck. Oh my god, I always like thinking about like just like how like I'm just like reflecting. Things are always changing. That's a constant. That's a constant. And I'm doing this right now because my mind shifted. I'm getting really hot right now, but my mind shifted. I'm shaking my head right now, y'all, because who the fuck is y'all? Who am I even talking to? Whatever, talking to me. But I'm shaking my head, y'all, because it's ovulation week and I need to be chained up. No, I don't. No, I don't. I will not. I will not. It's a shame how many, like, it's a shame how many, like, just like religions or like rules, cultures, whatever. It's a shame how much they demonize, being a whore. And I'm not saying like being a whore in the sense of like, I just mean like, you know, oh my god. Like, for instance, like, I know like in certain like religions and whatnot here, like, sex is just like whenever like couples together, whatever, sex is just seen as like something solely just for having a kid. And I cannot imagine, honey. I cannot imagine if that was it. You know what I mean? Like, yo, what the fuck? That sucks. That really, really fucking sucks. You know what I mean? I know when I used to work at an adult toy shop or whatever the fuck. That's what they used to make us like say. Or that's what I used to have to put like on my resume. An adult something, whatever the fuck, a sex shop, bitch. Or whatever. And my grandmother found out. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how this conversation came about, but we were just talking about like masturbation or whatever. And, she's like, she was so repulsed. She was so repulsed. She was so disgusted at the fact of a woman pleasing herself. She finds that very disgusting. Ciao. What the fuck? Can you imagine having a clit and not? What the fuck? That's crazy. That sucks. That really sucks for her. That really truly sucks for her, honey. Shit. Honestly, I don't give a fuck if this is TMI. I don't care. I kind of feel like talking. Whatever the fuck. I was about to just like say my clit is pretty lucky right now that my toys are dead. My toys are dead. My favorite toy, or whatever the fuck, you know, is being very wishy washy with me right now, and that's just like not something that I like. I cannot stand this shit. I thought it was dead, like dead, dead. I decided to like just try once more, and it worked. And then it died again. And then, quite literally, on Easter, an Easter miracle, it came back to life. And now It's dead again. The other night, some nights ago, whatever, some days ago, I was charging it. You know, I was done charging. I put it on my bed or whatever. I get up and I'm like, you know, passing, like, I'm in like my room, whatever, and I hear a buzz. I'm like, what the hell is buzzing in my room? Why the hell was my toy on itself? It would just be turning on itself till it dies. And then when I think I'm about to masturbate or whatever the fuck, I find out it's dead. I've gotten so used to them. I don't want to play DJ. I don't want to play DJ. You know what I mean? Oh, the sun's coming out. That's great. That's amazing. I love that. I had my coffee inside today. I normally have my coffee outside with my cat homies, but it was gloomy and I just kind of just wanted to sit inside. I'm so glad I did like my Pilates and everything for the morning already. And it's only 2:09, and that's pretty good. So I'm really happy about that. Did all my chores and everything. But yeah. Do you know how sad that is? Or you know how sad it is to like you know you're about to come, but you also know that toy is about to die. Anyway, the whole I didn't even mean to talk about fucking sex toys right now, but whatever. This is just what's happening in my life right now. Okay, this is what's happening in my life right now. My toys aren't fucking working. And there is that one Pinky. They're all pink. Most of my toys are all pink. I had a purple one, but I gave it away to a friend because I never used it. I probably used it like once. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the one that I did a whole video with, Pinky. The really big one, or whatever. It's just too much. It's just too much. Because like I also like live with my family and my mother already knows like how I be getting down, whatever the fuck. I don't care. Or whatever, but you know, sometimes I want to be like low key about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want my room or wherever the fuck I'm using it in this house, okay, to be sound like a barbershop because that just gives it away. Oh my god. What else is on my mind? A lot of things are on my mind. In a good way, actually. Um, I was like, oh yeah, as I was saying before I started talking about how fucking horny I am. What was I gonna say? Yeah, things are just like, oh, and I also feel like a little geeked right now from my coffee, from my espresso, whatever the fuck, honey. I don't know what really is the difference. Yeah, things are just like always changing, and naturally, so do I, or whatever. And like honestly, like I'm just like even reflecting to like even versions of myself from the beginning of the year, and I'm just like, oh my god, like I don't even feel like that anymore. I was like looking at some of my videos from like the beginning of the year or whatever, just when I first started like just posting, and then it's kind of cringe. Like I feel like a little cringed out, but it's fine. You know what I mean? Like it's fine. Not cringe in the sense of oh, but like in a sense of just like I don't know, like so much has just changed or whatever. And I look at some of those videos already. It hasn't been a whole goddamn year, but I'm already looking at those videos and I'm like cringed out. I think I what cringes me the most is I think when I first started like just like posting or recording on here or whatever, like I think my approach to it was just me being like very it was just like a bit more serious or whatever. It doesn't wrong with being serious, but that ain't really more like me. Whatever, I don't know. And I guess like I was just like going through it like or whatever, like it's just like I was just like really just like not like vibing. Like and I'm still like not vibing like with like family or whatever the fuck. But like I've I've entered a I guess I shall say I've entered a state of acceptance and I just don't like really care anymore. I do care. No, I don't. Not really. Like I'm just like kind of just like vibing right now. Like I guess like in the B when I started the pit, like I don't know, like a lot was like all hitting me like at once. But like all is fine, like all is well, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I was also thinking about like because for some like odd reason, you know, a past lover of mine, way back when, honey, resurfaced. Not like as in like contacting, hell no, but just in my orbit or whatever, and that's not. But I was just like reflecting about like how it's so funny like in the moment like when your heart is broken, you know, when you're really missing someone, when you're yearning or whatever the fuck. It's so funny how like in the moment like it feels like you can't even goddamn breathe, bitch. Like it feels like it's the end of the world. And I was just like, you know, like fast forward to like now and it's like, bro, like I like legit don't even care. You know what I mean? Like years ago, like I would have just like, you know, yearn for the day for when, you know, we could probably like cross like paths again. Now it's just like something I wouldn't even want. I don't even care. Like it's like a sense of just like a state of just like indifference. Like I really don't care. Um it's just so funny. You know what I mean? Like hard like I in the moment like it really sucks. But when you're past it and like when you kind of just like allow like that heartbreak to just like really like heal you, to be honest, like it's actually like such a beautiful thing. Like I'm actually like like I reflect on like this like not even just like apart from like that experience, but like in general like all of my like heartbreaks, whatever. I guess I'll focus more like in a mostly like in a romantic sense, but like of course family, friends, all that stuff. Like in hindsight, like I'm so grateful for it. Like I actually like really am because like it's just like a common like topic on my page or whatever, reoccurring one, shall I say, of just like, you know, these things like really just do happen so that you can like really like love the fuck out of yourself. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm so grateful because like, you know, I'm at a point now where like I just really don't want people in my space. I don't want people in my orbit who will kind of throw off all the work that I've put into myself. You know what I mean? The healing. And of course, like healing is an ongoing thing. It's not like, oh, I'm here, I'm done now. No. But like I'm just saying, like all that I've just put into myself thus far, it's not something that it's not something I'm willing to just like jeopardize to have just for the sake of just having someone who's just like half assing their way in my life or whatever the fuck. And that's like so nice. You know what I mean? It's so nice to be at a point now where like to like, you know, just choose solitude over just like having people to avoid being like alone or whatever. But I'm like so grateful for like all of it. You know what I mean? Like I really truly am. It's quite nice actually. And yeah. And it's like, yeah, it's actually really quite nice. That's like what's like been like on my mind or whatever the fuck. That's like what's been like on my mind. You know, I've also just like been sitting with the fact that like yeah, like I'm really like out here like on a rock. Like we're really like out here like on a rock. You know, and I'm really just like out here vibing. I'm really just like out here vibing on a rock. It's quite nice. I don't know why we're so conditioned to take like life so serious. The more serious I try to take it, the more I realize like how unserious it is, but not in the sense of I don't know, in a sense of just like chill. You know what I mean? Like just like vibe. Like it's like not that serious. You know what I mean? Like it's like really like not that deep. or whatever. Um, but like, yeah. I just feel like I'm just like really skipping about. Life just feels like I'm really just skipping the fuck about, okay? Gallivanting, frolicking. That's like what I'm out here doing. That's like literally what I'm out here doing. And like, like sometimes I'm just like, well, not really, to be honest with you. Well, I guess what I was just gonna say is that, like naturally, of course, sometimes like what I'll say is, I guess sometimes social media can be like so jading or whatever that like I guess it can like sometimes like make you question like where you are like in your like life or whatever the fuck. But that's also like so very like lame because like everyone's like life is just like so unique in their own way that like, it comparison simply truly is like a thief of joy. You know what I mean? Like sure, I'd like to be doing A, B, and C right now, but I'm here right now and what am I gonna do with like right now? And it's actually really nice when you really shift your perspective and just kind of just like be here now and quite like literally like just enjoy whatever the fuck is happening, whatever the fuck is flowing. You know what I mean? It's really quite nice. And like despite like I said, I would like to like be doing A, B, and C or whatever the fuck. I wouldn't want to have this. I wouldn't want to have this life any other way. I'm very grateful for like everything or whatever. And like I'm having fun. Like life is so random. Like life is so random. And I'm having fun. And ah, I just feel like life is something that's like meant to be. Life simply is like what's that fucking saying? Like life is like a box full a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get, but like in a beautiful way. Like it's just so random, and it's like the more I realize, like, what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? I find that I just thrive more. I thrive more when I just kind of accept that and like allow that like life is something that's supposed to be filled with surprises and you know just like like what's next. This feels like a mystery box, but in a beautiful way. I actually just like enjoy that more than I do like trying to control A, B, and C. To be honest with you, uh, I'm just so glad though. Like things are as they are. Like right now, like I know like perhaps like 5 years ago and everything. Like when I was like in school, like I was like I want to be a psychiatrist. Like I want to do all of this. Like I want to do all of that. Bitch, knowing damn well deep down I don't want to do none of that shit. I was just saying that because like families, conditioning, or society, like, oh, you need to go to school, you need to do all that shit. That would have been so fucking boring. Oh my god, I'm so glad I didn't fucking do that shit. I'm so glad. Ugh. You know what's like really fun and what's like really good for me to do, which I like to lean into doing, even though it can sometimes just like be very uncomfortable. It feels like a nice thing of exposure therapy or whatever. Not that, you know, I guess what I like to do, even though like sometimes it's very uncomfortable, is proudly saying something, or, proudly saying something about myself, like for instance, like, yeah, like I dropped the fuck out, bitch. And saying it, bitch, and not being ashamed about it, or feeling like I just, it's important for me to just do these things or whatever, because it's like, it doesn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? Like, because, like hiding away from saying these things or whatever means to some extent that I'm like judging myself for it. And that's just something I don't want to do that shit. The fuck? I was also thinking to myself, this is like the last thing, and then like I have to wrap this up because I want to go take a shit and possibly master fucking Bane. But what I was gonna say is, I was thinking to myself yesterday. I ordered some chocolate chip pancakes. I'm having a chocolate chip pancake phase as of lately. Yesterday was my second time in 9 days ordering chocolate chip pancakes. And to be honest with you, I like the place that I got it from yesterday than the first time. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I was like, I had my pancakes or whatever, and I was like, yo, like let's. I was like, I was about to cut my. I like to cut up my pancakes or whatever, and I was like, let's like do it like the British way, like fork here, knife, whatever the fuck. And I was just like thinking to myself, honestly, to be honest with you, how bullshit, like proper like utensil or eating etiquette is. Like it's bullshit. Like bitch, what the fuck? You're telling me there's a right and a wrong way to eat, bitch? I was thinking about it because firstly, on my mother's side or whatever, they're Guyanese. But naturally, of course, Guyana was colonized by, I believe, like, yeah, like the Dutch at some point, but like British Guyana, if that's what even the fuck British Guyana. I never heard of that. People say British Guyana. I don't know, but like they were colonized as well too by Britain or whatever. And my grandmother growing up during this time or whatever, she's kind of like, it's like she's kind of like like that movie, I believe, yeah, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. It's like that. It's this guy or whatever. He's an Indian guy, but he's obsessed with the Queen. He loves England. He loves the UK. Like he loves it down. Like he has a picture of the Queen and everything. Like obsessed with British culture. And I guess like growing up in a colonized kind of mindset or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like you kind of internalize what you're naturally being taught, and you think that everything outside of that, like isn't like mannerly or whatever the fuck. And so like like for instance, like with my grandmother, like just growing up with her or whatever the fuck, like I, like it's ingrained in my mind more or less, like to be sometimes to be kind of cautious about like how I'm eating, like how I'm using my utensils, like having like my manners, like at like the dining table or whatever, like, no fucking elbows or all that shit. Or she was like also like an English teacher, so you know a grammar one at that. So naturally, of course, she's taught me some things, and it's kind of like in my head where I'm sometimes cautious if I don't do something correctly. And I just like like some years ago or whatever, I was in the UK or whatever with somebody that like I once knew or whatever, and I remember like at like fucking Nando's, bitch, and like people were eating their fucking burgers with a knife and fork. I was like, get me the fuck out of here. I'm not doing this shit. I don't want to do this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all bullshit, and um, it's all bullshit because like not like on my mom's side, like I said, Guyanese, but there's also some like Indian influence and African. And you know, in these cultures, you know, like you eat with your hands. And it's like in the West or whatever, like that's kind of seen sometimes as something like ew, like or just like a little savage like or whatever the fuck. What the fuck do I look like having to need a whole bunch of forks to eat, bitch? A whole bunch of spoons. What? What the fuck is this? I'm just trying to eat, girl. I don't give a fuck. Give me a big spoon, give me a big fork, and let me eat. I don't need 10. I don't need 4. I don't need. It's just in general, it's so insane how much. It's all just made of fucking rules. It's not even real. It's like not even like fucking real. I remember this one time I was like out, I was like eating with someone or whatever, and I don't give a fuck how a person like if eat how you want to eat, bitch. It's food. You know what I mean? But like I said, having like a grandmother who kind of just like drilled that in your head like a little bit or whatever, like I guess I'm just sometimes I don't mean to be, but I'm just like sometimes like observant about like a person and like how they like what the etiquette that they use or whatever the fuck. And I remember it's like out with this person like like didn't like wasn't like eating the way I would expect. Like it's like it was just like a little messy, and I didn't really care. If anything, I thought it was cute because I think it's cute when like just don't give a fuck, bitch, and just do what the fuck like that. Like you know what I mean? Like I guess like just like what I'm saying is like it's kind of just like insane how much things that we're taught to think is proper or correct when you know some it's straight up just like fucking bullshit and just like a whole bunch of fucking rules, but like also as well too. But like also too like how like what's the word? I guess like intertwined it is like with like colonization and everything of this nature. You know what I mean? Anyway, I have to go pee pee. I gotta go take a little tinkle winkle.